ways, up and down, as opposed.
It's interesting. I was listening to a interview last night with a scientist or somebody who was interviewing him, Tom, who I think was the person who was interviewing, and this scientist was all about how to reverse aging, and he's really digging into what makes us age, and what we can do about it, and what he was saying is, we technically should be able to live a few hundred years. But because of, our habits.
There are stories in the hills of China that they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, and so what they're finding is that there are a few nutrients, resveratrol, endomen, and what was the other one? NADH. Those nutrients play a really big part in helping to reverse that process. But at the end of the interview, and then also he said, be cold, be okay with being cold because our bodies need it. And then at the interview, he said, if there was one thing that we could all do to help reverse that aging process or in our lives, what would it be? And he said, be hungry. And so it goes into that, fasting, right? Fasting, helps with that cellular regeneration, autophagy, and so on and so forth. And it's really interesting because this is the space that I live in. This is the world that I live in. I'm very much into the body and what makes the body tick and what makes us well, what makes us sick, and food is medicine and all those other things. That's kind of where my mind lives. But what I find is interesting is that that they're not separate, right? Obviously mind, body, spirit, right? Where it's all integrated. And to think that we have this rise in consciousness, well, we're also raising our ability to see, as each year goes by, and it's getting faster and faster and faster of what we can do as mankind to increase how long we live, right? So that we can, continue to evolve. And so that's just one of the ways that we're continuing to evolve is not only in our consciousness, but also in our ability to live longer because we're waking up to what does it take, right, to take care of this vessel that we have and to evolve into that 200-year lifespan versus the 80-year, it used to be 4 years. Right, and so we're just continuing to evolve and get to that point where we're just going to live longer and longer and longer, and continue to evolve, both in our physical being as well as our consciousness. So it's just interesting.
Yeah, I like being down here in the human shell, but we all know we're an eternal being anyway. So
Right.
yeah, holding it in form a little bit. We can do a much better job, and I think that's where. What we're referring to is the alchemy, getting all the elements involved with us and being conscious of conscious alchemy to actually hold the vessel, hold the form.
Biohacking, I call it.
Yep.
And I love that you're bringing that on because that's something I'm studying too, is biohacking, because this is our instrument, and this one of the reasons why we're experiencing so many challenges as a species is because we're devaluing our instrument by not giving our instrument what it needs. And so something that I learned in regards to reversing aging is through time management, by understanding that you are the one who actually controls your time. And animals, think about this, an animal with a slow heartbeat lives longer than an animal with a fast heartbeat because they're actually going through life faster. So they're on a different time traveling frequency. And so when you live life on the go constantly, you're actually accelerating time. You're accelerating your life. Your death, your life is going to decrease because you're actually speeding the living process of your cells. Yeah. It's my understanding.
Yeah.
And so I found it fascinating. Like if you think a mouse, how fast their heart beats, a hummingbird, how fast their heart beats, and how fast they travel through time. And then you look at a turtle who's like on the Galapagos Islands at 150 years old, just chilling and moving through time like, what's up?
Yep.
And then and that brought on what you mentioned in China that they do it. Yes, they have, living off of ginseng and goji berries. And then they said, how did you make it to 250? He goes, I just move really slow. And I'm paraphrasing, of course. He says, I just live off of things that my body needs. That's all. And then I sit in silence and I just move slowly. And it slows down time for me. So that's really cool.
Which is a testimony for meditation and
Yes.
all of those things that help us to slow down and get back into our bodies, which Ray likes to talk about. I have yet to master the meditation thing, but I'm sure it's in my future at some point.
I love the meditation. I sent, by the way, the video about meditation, the monk, I forgot his name, but the way he describes meditation, there's so many, I know you watched it, because that's pretty cool, the way he described meditation as like, don't punish yourself for your thoughts, because I think that I meditate 2 times a day now, because there was some point where I was walking around with so much anger inside me. I was like, why am I so angry? But all I was doing was just absorbing external energy. And so I had to say, okay, we need to exercise this crap out of me because this does not belong here. And so I started doing, like, I have my electrical massage in my back. I'm like sitting in the morning, every morning, like, and then right before I go to bed, I'm like, I love you, honey. Okay. And I've been doing it for weeks. I'm like, yeah, I think this works. Of course, like, I went to a ceremony last weekend. And that like really helped reset myself and just remembering that we need help. Stop trying to do everything by yourself. You need somebody to help you. When you walk through life every day tense and stressed out, call a friend and say, I need help. Can you hold the space for me? Because I need to exercise this crap that's inside me. Whether it's spiritual, physical, if you need to fast, if you need to freaking be in silence, you need to get away from your electronic devices and do like an auric cleanse, anything that allows you to rejuvenate yourself, regenerate yourself. And you're like, it's not as bad as I thought it was, now that I took a moment to breathe.
I'm going to put in a plug for the LotusBend here real fast. So where we are, we happen to be outside of Austin about 20 minutes. And we are in a space that's backed up to several thousand acres of nature on this side, and there's a small neighborhood over here. So we don't have a lot of connection to the interference from the energetic fields that you do in the populated area, which makes it different. You can feel the energy that the earth is working with, and that we have also brought here to work in this space with the earth. So it's less distorted, and the more that we continue to drop in and charge it in places like this, with intentional communities, with facilities that are really on board with bringing consciousness to a space like a temple. We call this the temple. So I think it's very important that more people be exposed to things outside of the distorted fields that have been created in population centers, and get back to nature, to get back to consciousness that's working on multiple levels. And that happens at LotusBend, by the way. So. I gotta put a plug in there. Put a plug in there. We're working hard with this.
This place is amazing, and something that you brought up, we had actually intended on talking about, which is the surgence of plant medicine into the consciousness of even the United States, right? And helping to get people connected to the higher consciousness and so on and so forth. And so I know that you have stuff to share, and you may have stuff to share, and I know that you've already shared a little bit of it. And you've had some experiences that have been extremely powerful, and I know that you have as well. So you've even shared some of that as well. So I don't know if there's anything else that you want to say about that. I have yet to experience it. I'm looking forward to it at some point.
Well, I'm going back into Journey Space tomorrow, actually, so it's been a while since I've done a deep dive. I worked with that about 10, 11 years ago, and then I worked with it for a number of years. But when I wanted to bring this space back online, I kind of had to stop doing Journey and be more practical and grounded as much as I could possibly be, which is a goal for me. But we got it done, and we're here. But so tomorrow, I feel like I'm going to be honored. We have someone here for doing he's a shaman from Peru, and it's been a long time coming to go back into space. So.
Awesome.
Well, I think that something that I would say is that it's definitely not for everybody at a moment. It can be for anybody, but it's not for everybody because of you put yourself in a space of vulnerability. I think that a lot of people are seeking the resurgence of plant medicine is coming back because we've forgotten who we were, and to go into a space of imagination is to go back to being a child again. Our imagination has been strongly suppressed by the indoctrination of our school system. And so we've been kind of conditioned to be in a space of the worker bee. Must go to work every day, and it's no longer working for us because we realize that that's not who we are. We're not worker bees. We don't want to go to work 9 to 5. Why does it have to be 9 to 5? Does anybody ask these questions? Why do you have to go to work 8 to 5, Monday through Friday? How are you supposed to live your life that way? Because I know that when I need to renew my driver's license, guess what? I have to take time off work. And so you start catching on these the ridiculousness of our society. And when you start beating against that cage of this does not fit, it hurts. And you become challenged and you don't know how to get out of it. You're like, I have to. I've been conditioned, let's go to work 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And then you start drinking, or for me, in my experience, I medicated myself with alcohol. I was like, I need to relax, I'm gonna drink. Why? Because there's a billboard who says, hey, on your way home is happy hour, you should do this. And you're like, yes, you're right, billboard number one. So for me, plant medicine is a doorway to my memories, to my imagination, to help me detox from the distractions that I'm bombarded with on a daily basis. Because every day you wake up, the moment you pick up your phone to look at it, you're going back into your programming. You're going back into the advertisements, the bombardment of, we want you to look here, look here, look here. So if you're so busy looking outside at that mascara looks great, those shoes look great, or, because that's what I look at, you forget yourself. You forget who you are because you're too busy looking outside yourself. And as soon as you walk out your door, you get in your car, you're in this box, you're in a cage. And you're driving to the other cage that you have voluntarily enslaved yourself with to live day to day, paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes you just need help remembering that that's not your life, that that's just a path, a part of the journey you chose to give yourself. And for me, going back into the plant medicine says, oh yes, I remember who I am now. Thank you for helping me, because I forgot, and it allows me to come back and push myself to write a whole book in how long did it take me? It took me 4 months, I think. But you know what? The reason why I was able to do it because I remembered who I was. I connected with my childhood. I connected with my true intention, my true purpose. And I think that a lot of people who experienced that journey, it's the reason why I say it's not for all, because some people stay inside their heads. And we're not meant to be inside our heads, we're meant to be inside our bodies. And if you're inside your head, all you're thinking about is, am I good enough? Is this going to happen? Can I do it? Can I do it? I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. But if you get out of your head into your body, you're like, I'm just going to do this. And you're just let it fall in place.
And manifest, right?
Yeah.
Because in that
Create, yeah. Because that's where it comes from, through your imagination. That's how we create.
Now, medicine has definitely allowed me to see that there's another world outside the conditioning that I received growing up. And it reminds me as a good child. That is the most beautiful thing that I've learned. Because it is true, we do have to step out of that box and go actually outside into nature, because when you were a kid, I remember we played outside all day, every day. And now we don't. Why? Because we drive to work. We're there 9, 10 hours minimum. And then what do? You go back home to your other box and you stay inside. So the moment that I get to stay outside and play until I feel like it is a win for me, because I feel like that connection, like that spiritual connection. And that has definitely awakened that within myself, and just not caring, because that is the other thing. We're so much blinded by what do others think of us, the judgment, and it's like so hindering of the potentials that we have.
Do you mind if I throw in an astrological observation
Please do.
here to both of you, which
Yeah,
are powerful reflections of each other, by the way, the Pisces and the Pisces moon that you have here. So I hear this sort of repeated over and over and over again with the Pisces energy, and there's an escape of some kind, and yours was in the bottles, and I guess temporarily, I assume, yeah, yeah. So this is something that happens a lot, where there is like this world is you're programmed a certain way, and this you know there's something outside of this world, and you want to get there. So usually you see the billboard, "I'll get there this way," you know. And the plant medicines have opened you up to the other side of that reality. It's like, oh, there's the inner toxifying process, but then there's like the Pisces also wants to seek that which is beyond this realm. It needs to be out here and extend understanding the spiritual dimension. It's not in the bottle; it's out here in the rest of the world. So there's this. What's happening is what was traditionally you would see people with a lot of Pisces energy that would essentially collapse. You know, they would just go in, they would drink themselves to death or go into other. My mother was a Pisces, and she is a Pisces, but she was very addicted to drugs very early on, and I ended up going into being adopted and everything. But it was that Pisces energy that just collapsed her. And what I'm hearing a little bit about, there's a realization that these plants medicine, even though it can be considered an escape to do some of these things, it's an escape into the spiritual dimension. It is what is needed right now on this planet, that to the realization that there's more to it just when trapped in this condition, that we can expand into the next level condition, which is what we're here to bring about. So I love hearing when Pisces are involved in medicine work and whatnot. That's the right way to be doing that part of the spiritual journey. That Pisces is about the boundless self. It's about dissolving all of these boundaries that so we can bring in. You're challenging the God to be here now. You know. So I hear that both echoed in some of what you discussed. So, anyway, just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And so hopefully that will relieve some of any judgment you may have had about your own journey. That's the reason I say that.
No, I've actually opened up about it because I've realized that I don't want to fit in a box. I don't need to explain who I am to anybody. I don't need to have an excuse to just be what I want to be and do what I want to do. And I've been fired enough in my life. You know, people say, "Don't say that, Alethea. You shouldn't say that." I shouldn't say what? True things? They're like, "Yes, no," you know. And I've experienced butting against authority my whole life, and now I'm at that point where I found a grace in that by realizing that it's okay to be me, and that if I normalize the weird stuff about myself and I casually bring it into conversation, it may shock people, but then they get used to it. It's just different. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. So like I'm able to speak honestly about it, you know, like I got a bag of clay rocks in my office, and my boss was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Edible dirt. I need supplementation." I was like, "I have a deficiency of iron and I feel it." And he goes, "So you're eating dirt?" And I was like, "You're eating pills." Who's more weird? I was like, "Your crap came from a lab where somebody just like Frankenstein that crap together. I just like went outside and grabbed my minerals, weirdo." You know? And so I normalized my different approach to how I live. And if people have judgment against it, I accept it and I say, okay, you know what, I don't want to argue. It's okay. And I learned that because I used to be a fighter. I'd be like, "You must believe what I believe because I have evidence." And then I realized that, no, reality is subjective.
Something else I want to add about the Pisces thing, just humorous. I think that you said something about spreading glitter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a Pisces thing, by the way. Pisces love to spread glitter. So you can call it your spiritual elements, or there's glitter within, you want to spread it around. But Pisces love to dash glitter all over
That's
stuff.
so awesome.
Yeah.
I believe it.
No, Ashton, you agree with that?
You're not down with the
I'll
Pisces.
paint the walls black.
Well, painting is good enough. But I bet someday you may throw a dash of glitter in there somewhere. The part of it is also expressing through art, and paint is a Pisces thing. They love to be expressive with something. I'd have to see the rest of your chart why it's black, but one day you might polish it up a little bit. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, so-
yeah, chime in.
Any questions that you have?
What's resonated with you guys?
I don't know. I'm just listening to all you guys talking right now. I woke up at 6. I know I said 8, but I woke up at 6, tried to go back to sleep, never could. So I'm just tired right now and listening to all what you're saying. And I like it. It's pretty good. It's interesting.
You're taking it in, you'll be able to use it later in life whether you know it or not. Promise.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to just ask. You know, if you have anything that if something that any of us says like puts off a light in your head, you're like, oh, I understand that, and you want to contribute. You know, I'd love to hear your perspective as well and any questions you have. So
Okay. Absolutely.
And keep coming back. You know, it's a great place to learn.
this is my ideal fun.
Yeah,
So,
she rides bikes, goes on hikes. It's bad. It's like an hour and 45 minutes going back and forth. That's all it is. It's
One
just
circle.
Yeah, that's all
But the
it is.
lake is in the circle. So like you have water on the side, and the whole time the wind's blowing through your hair. It's like I feel like I'm on Valpor, the dragon from Neverending Story, and I have music in my ears, so it's like flying.
I feel like I'm going in a circle for no reason.
That's a Pisces favorite movie, by the way.
So I'm the quintessential Pisces energy.
Yes, we both have that. Yeah. Pisces moons.
We just watched Dark Crystal is also another one of my
Yes,
favorites.
have you seen the new series?
Yes,
Yeah.
I went through it like obsessively.
I watched it all in one night. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? We came back from our weekend, and like I had to stop watching it for a moment because I realized how terrifying that movie actually was.
Mhm.
You know, and then I calmed down and came back to 3D, and I was like, okay, it's not that terrifying. It's like metaphorical for me about the world that we live in.
And Jim Henson was very metaphysical individual, and he dabbed that. And if you look closely at the backstories in the scripts, it's very cosmological and astrological
It is,
themes. So yeah, anyway, that's why I'm drawn to those things.
you know, I realized that I also have the Pisces moon.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Pisces moon. That's right. I have come to love the Pisces moon energy. Some of my closest friends that I connect to. I'm a water sign as well. You're a Cancer ascendant, right?
I am Sag, double Sag.
Oh, double Sag. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
double
thinking
Sag.
that's right, double Sag. There's someone else I know that's a good combination. But that water element, I've come to love. I used to be more in disdain of that, but now I'm kind of like, all right, we're here to process at this level, on the dreamy emotional side of things. So it all needs to find some union in what's happening here. So,
I feel like my
Yeah.
Sag brings me down or something, like centers me. Like I feel like I'm not like I have a hard time seeing the Pisces moon in myself.
yeah, there's on that note, so there's square in the chart. So if you look at that wheel, like one is at a 90-degree angle on the circle. So there's a challenge there with that. One wants to take you one direction, out into it's like, think of it like Pisces could be considered like a center with arrows wanting to go in every direction, where Sagittarius is wanting to go forward in sort of one direction. It needs to be out in the world, where if you go too far in every direction, you just dissolve into everything. We are in everything, but the Sag part is that it needs to be able to reflect and to know what those are about. It's going to ground you into a little bit of a mindness. Both are very spiritual signs, though. I mean, they both can be very, very, very spiritual. So it doesn't surprise me one bit that both of those are bringing you into this space, part of your alchemy.
And we don't know what reason. Did you look them up yet or no?
I believe I did, yeah. I may pull it while we're sitting here chatting so I can, harp on you a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you have the human design down. I have, our languages are not so far apart.
No, not at all. I appreciate hearing
Yeah,
you.
well,
Yeah.
astrology is part of human design.
Yeah, exactly.
It's part of
Built-
what makes the calculations.
I always loved astrology as a child, like
Oh, me too.
obsessively, like, and I just didn't go in that direction, but when I was a child, I was like really obsessive about it, where I had a map of the stars,
Yeah.
the little paper one, and I'd like stare at the stars every night, and I was like, I think I'm an alien. I just did
You're
not.
probably Pleiadian, by the way. Some of us are down here,
Yeah.
elements of Pleiades doing this work. But
Mm.
yeah, but there's a reason that every culture on the planet has an astrological connection. Like all the higher conscious civilizations, they all for 5,000-6,000 years, or if you believe in more, 30,000 years ago, this was established for Lemurian or whatever. But it doesn't matter. But they all were connected to the planets and very focused on our connection to the stars and to what the movements were doing to us collectively. And then, of course, as we moved into the age of Pisces, that's when, 2,000 years ago, that's when horoscopic astrology was actually developed to understand our individual paths. So what's happening with us, in natal astrology didn't exist 5,000 years ago, but yet the elements of the planetary connection to nature was understood. You see it in everything. We are nature. So it's in our language, it's in the way we speak, it's the spells that we cast are resonating with the frequency of the planets. It's in our number systems, and it's embedded in our spiritual systems and our spiritual texts. So everything speaks these languages of higher awareness. So I suggested that rudimentary, everyone kind of gets a little bit of grasp of the syllables, the words, the syntax of astrology, because it will explode your connection to consciousness. And the same thing with human design, because they are related. You begin to understand that these elements are archetypal, and that we are part of a larger system. It doesn't mean we're bound in a box, but we're part of a mechanism, of a spiritualized mechanism that's happening here. I'm going to put another plug in for myself. I like to write about this sort of a pseudo-spiritual element. I have a magazine article that just came out yesterday. So it's on the quantum leap of faith, about this connection to spirit and matter and how it relates to science and astrology and consciousness. So I'll have to put that somewhere you can read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was channeling a little bit, so it's pretty interesting.
I look forward to reading it.
Is there anything else that we want to go over?
Yes. Well, before we go into the next thing, I just wanted to kind of chime in on what y'all was saying about aging. And my entire life, I have always known since I was young, or younger, I should say, since I was much younger, that I was going to live to be well beyond 100, 150, 100, 200. I've known that. And, I've told that to people, and they would say, are you crazy? We only live to 80 or 90, 100 at best. I said, no, I'm gonna go way past that. My family kind of knows me as the one who's gonna live the longest. And I used to put a number on it, but now I'm at the point where my perspective or my intention now is just to be here as long as I want to be here. So, and I firmly have a knowing that we have the ability to do what I'm about to say, which is to check out when we're ready to check out in the manner that we want to check out. Who says we have to go in a heart attack or stroke or any of these things that we're all going through? A lot of people, the majority of people, or a lot of people are going through checking out in that manner, in a manner that's fearful. We fear, oh my God, death, we're gonna die, I don't want to die. It's not something to fear. It's just a transition. That's all it is. And when I'm ready to move into it, that's gonna be my choice. Whether it's 100 years, whether it's 200, 500, whatever it is. No number for me to put on it. So going into the last phase of this conversation, I wanted to try to kind of bring up some suggestions for anybody who's here or anybody who's watching as to what they can do to begin the process of gaining awareness and navigating what we're going through now and what what a lot of us see is coming in the future. So if you were to speak to someone, anyone have anything to chime in on from what we've said so far, what they can take away as far as helping them to prepare and navigate for what's coming? Anything from you, Natty?
Just cover your eyes and scream. It's gonna be hell. No. Yeah, I think just making sure you surround yourself with love. You know, it's plain and simple. People vibrating at that level. Keep your vessel clean internally, and by vessel meaning your body, and then your vessel by meaning your environment, those around you. And the more you can do that, you will be a part of this shift that happens with those that are awakening. You know, and I think it requires that. You know, if you study Greg Braden, you know, his work, it's very much about alignment. But yeah, just the alignment with that. You know, where do you want to be? You have a choice. And in order that you awaken, that you have to take on certain responsibilities to make that happen. You have to make the choices to be here, to be in this dialogue, to make the choices to eat properly, to not toxify the body, and all of that will help raise your vibration so that the rest of this doesn't affect you as much. You know. So I mean, I listen to what's happening out in the world with politics and whatnot, but I know that for myself, probably 12 years ago plus, I was a prepper. I was fear-based. I was very aware, but I was like, oh, we gotta pack up our stuff and be ready to go at a moment's notice to the desert. And we had several of my friends who were all fear-based. It was like ready to leave. At the drop of a hat. And now I'm like, look at this. I'm just that. Yeah,
I'm like, do we need to go out of the country?
Yeah,
like that's where I'm at. Like, we need to escape.
I was ready to go. I was ready to move to Nepal and live over there. It's like I had made connections, and when I was there, I was like, okay, I think let's find a house. We're gonna go do this, And now I'm like, that's not my work. I was coming from a fear-based perspective, and then I dropped into the consciousness space, and I dropped into medicine work, and I was reminded, you don't get that in this lifetime, Russ. You lived many lifetimes on the plateaus of Tibet. That's why you went back there, just to have a little homecoming. But you were supposed to be here, out in the field, doing the work of higher consciousness with us. This is our purpose now.
Yes.
This is why we're here. Like everyone has a part to play in this, and it's not always comfortable. You can't run from it. So just accept that about yourself, and find your tribe, find your community. And I think that's what we're all doing, and all wanting to continue to do. So.
That's the first thing that came to my mind when you asked the question. It's like, what can you do? And the first thing that came to mind is, well, find a community, right? Find the people that are moving in the direction you want to move in, right? Which is where we are today.